Single Simulcast is about a lot of things. This podcast may make you laugh, cry, or pound your fists into your desk. If you hear something you like or something you don't, leave a voicemail at 916-572-9016 or email us at singlesimulcast@gmail.com.
1. Single Simulcast.
Niggas.
I never know how to respond to that. Like, do I respond with the equally exuberant niggas? Because it's yours. It's your thing. Or do I come back with the what's up, man? I think I'm just gonna do something. No, I'll just go Cali style with it. What's happening?
What it is?
What's happening?
What it ain't?
Man. So, Single Simulcast, episode 317. I'm sure of that, motherfuckers. I'm looking at it right now, like big numbers, big letters, big time. I am absolutely sure of it. Maybe. Let me check again. 317. It's in the books. Shantae's here. Jeremy's here. I'm here. You're welcome. What's happening? Real quick, I just want to get this off my chest. That white woman isn't going to spend a minute in jail.
Which white woman?
The white woman that killed Botham Shem Jean in Dallas. She ain't gonna do a single solitary moment in prison.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is, like, I didn't know much about that story, still don't, to be honest, but from what I seen, nothing about that shit makes sense. Well, now one single piece of information that I've got from that from the story makes any bit of sense other than that white lady killed a black person for no goddamn reason.
Well, I mean, you're saying it doesn't make sense, but you're black. It doesn't make sense to us. It makes perfect sense to everybody else.
Well, that's true too.
But yeah, I put money on it. She is not going to spend a single iota of time in jail. She's already packed up her apartment and moved out. They didn't even search it. I don't know why they went and searched his apartment, because she broke into his house and shot him. The story has changed like 3 times now. Her neighbors, who must literally hate her guts, are doing everything they can to refute every one of her statements on video. And putting it on Facebook and putting it everywhere else. They're on video. There ain't no escaping this.
On concrete.
She's changed her story, like, from I was yelling, open up the door, knocking on the door, to the door was open, which one of her neighbors immediately refuted, like, look, see how it automatically closes and latches? Ain't nobody leaving their door ajar out here. To I parked on the wrong level and it was an accident, to he didn't follow my demands. And as soon as she said that, white folks were like, bingo! That's what we were waiting for. Bippity bobbity boo, motherfucker. Let's magically make you innocent. And so the next step was they went into his apartment after she went into his apartment and killed him and found weed. I didn't think I needed to say anything past that. We all know what happens next when they find weed in a black person's apartment or house after they've been killed by somebody who broke into their house.
That lady got more excuses than a nigga trying to get out of paying child support.
She ain't going to jail. She's too fragile. It's Texas. I don't know much about Texas, but I know she ain't going to jail. I know if I ask why she ain't going to jail, I'm going to be looked at as a troublemaker, but she ain't going to jail. Y'all can just put that away. The black guy who died, he's the real criminal here. He's the problem. She was just minding her own business in his house with a gun drawn, but then all of a sudden she saw a silhouette. That's how she's getting out of this being racist. She didn't see him. She saw a silhouette, but it was big and it was scary and it was monstrous. So she shot it.
Yo, she really telling this story like she in the Nun. Like, you know the previews for the Nun?
Oh yeah, I've seen it like 6 times where there's the nun behind her, and
yes,
she knows the nun's behind her, I guess, because she doesn't turn around, even though that nun looks creepy as shit. And then all of a sudden she hears whisper, 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 and she looks to see where the whisper looks, and as soon as she turns around the opposite direction, here comes the nun, like ah! Nisha always jumps. It's the best. I'm like, Nisha, you've seen this preview like 11 times now. Why are you still jumping? And she's like, it still gets me. And I'm like, you're sweet.
You're doing amazing, Nisha.
You're sweet. Like, man. But yeah, no, the niggas, what's happening? They had the unmitigated gall, the temerity, the supreme fuckery to say that if this man who was killed by a police officer who broke into his house, the NRA had the nerve to say that if he was an NRA member, if he was a gun owner, this wouldn't have happened.
Oh, they got a whole ass case of nerve from State Farm because they went. Where was they when
Philando got killed?
Yeah. Thank you.
Right? Like, wait. This just happened where somebody was a registered owner and got killed, and y'all didn't have nothing to say. Like, just silent as they were as silent as the black folks, and that they were as silent as the man sitting next to the man, sitting next to the man, sitting next to the man. They called that church's piccolo player a motherfucker. That's how quiet they were about Philando Castile. But now all of a sudden, they're like, yeah, let me pop in real quick and just say this. If he was a gun owner, this wouldn't have happened. Yeah, right. Because if he was a gun owner and somebody broke into his house, he would have bucked shots like a real nigga would have, in y'all's opinion, and would have been hit up for killing a cop. There's literally no way that both of them could have won in this situation. None. There's no way that he would have survived this at all. Either she breaks into his house and kills him, which she did, and gets away scot-free, which she will, or she breaks into his house, he licks shots at her and kills her, he gets the death penalty, or she breaks into his house, he kills her, he goes on the run like that nigga who they blew up with a bomb that a robot was carrying. Bottom line is this. The guy who was killed by the police is now the criminal because they found weed in his house. They got a search warrant to search his house even though she broke into his house. So why do you need a search warrant for the house of the victim? Meanwhile, while they're searching his house, she goes downstairs one level because she lived right beneath him and packs up her stuff and moves out. Not saying that there would have been anything to see in there because she wasn't in her house when she decided to go to his house and shoot him. But who knows? White pride stuff, drugs, monkeys, I don't know, chinchilla coats.
All right.
A Nintendo 64, maybe? I don't know.
Shine, please.
Perfect Dark. Ain't nothing wrong with Perfect Dark. Ooh. One of those swings that you use for you know and you know and you know. But nope, none of that. Just unsolved murder of black man by a white woman who immediately uses the I feared for my safety because he wouldn't listen to my commands. Say no more. We got it from here. This dude was... I mean, it seems honestly, and maybe this is just my bias speaking, seems like every black person that got killed by the cops is a really good person. I have yet to hear about a black person get killed by the cops where I was like, you know what, that person really was a fucking asshole. There might have been like one or two that off the top of my head. One was like,
what's the man name? Stevenson, some shit. And they dug up his old tweets, and that nigga was anti-black as shit,
Stephen
homophobic
Clark.
as shit. Yeah, him. So I'm like, he's about the only one that come to mind though, that I can think of. Not saying he deserved it, but I mean, when black women and queer people on Twitter was like, I don't know if
said some repugnant shit.
Yeah.
But when's the last time a nigga got shot for saying repugnant shit by a cop? Oh wait. Yeah, that nigga was saying some troublesome shit. But the cops didn't know that when they shot his ass.
Correct.
Hey, Shantae.
Hey.
How goes it?
It's just, this what we're talking about. This is a downer, but I mean, it goes back to what I said last week. The police are trained to harm and antagonize black people and other people of color. That's really what it comes down to. The system is working exactly as it was built to work. Like, on the one hand, it's unbelievable in like a human sense. Like, how could somebody walk up to somebody's apartment that isn't their apartment, enter the apartment, whether the door was open or they were let inside, and then shoot someone in this type of a situation? It's unbelievable in that kind of sense. And yet it's completely believable in the sense that this is a police officer who is trained, who is trained to, I would think, to shoot people first and ask questions later. I think that's really what it comes down to as far as police is concerned, is that they are trained to shoot people first and ask questions later. And they kind of pick and choose when they want to de-escalate a situation. And they will protect each other regardless of how wrong they are.
Yeah.
So they can get the Bozak.
You know what? I told somebody today that they could get the Bozak. And it was so great because A, I meant it. And B, they didn't know what I was talking about.
You are doing amazing, Rashanii.
So here's what happens when you tell a white person they can get the Bozak and they don't know what you're talking about. Their mind goes through their mental Rolodex, their mental dictionary to see if they know if they know this word, like to know if you insulted them, so they could do that speed walk to the manager's office. And they just cycled through, and they cycled, and I saw Wendy's face as it cycled through all of these words in her head, and the only thing that she could come up with was, did you see the recent Zach Morris is trash?
Zach Morris is trash!
That's all
hey, that
she could bring up.
That nigga really is trash, though.
He is. He is. That nigga stays garbage. But so did the show, so you get what you get.
Yeah.
So I realized today that I need to know more people. This is not an outreach sort of thing. It isn't so I can have more friends or anything. It's so then I can. I actually want to make more friends who have the same exact name, just so then I can categorize them properly.
Oh my gosh.
Like, for example, I need to know more Brittanies. I need to know like 5 of them. So that way I can know a litany of Brittanies.
3 out of them 5 gonna be missing.
That's all right. One's gonna be white. One's gonna be Asian, but's gonna act white, and then the other 3 can be black and beat up the other 2. That's all I'm looking for. Balance.
Wow.
Balance.
A litany of Brittanies.
A litany of Brittanies. I also need to know 7 Gretchens. I only know
7
1.
Gretchens?
I'm shocked that I know 1, but I need to know 6 more. So
I don't know. Like, I don't know how you can pull off 7. I feel like you could probably, like, Brittany is a common name in the sense that I think you could find 5, and you know whether or not they'll be your friend enough to where you can categorize them in your litany or whatever. I don't know, but you can find 5. I don't know if you're gonna find 7 Gretchens.
I'm going to go on Facebook and just search for Gretchens and make friends with them.
Okay. Well, yeah. If you do it like that, then yes. I was just thinking like
real
just
people.
Coming. Yes, like just going out.
That would take forever. The only
meeting some Brittanies, I feel like you could meet some Brittanies, but it's going to be hard for you to meet 7 Gretchens.
I feel like if I met Brittanies, it would be at a place where the music was like, and I don't.
That's funny. My college roommate is named Brittany.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, we were only roommates for that 1 year, but yeah, her name is Brittany. I know that Brittany, then there's a Brittany from my hometown, and then there's a Brittany that I know online.
You only got to get 2 more. Me personally, initially I was going for the blackout, but then I was like, I'll just go for the standard bingo of Brittany's. See?
Yeah, and all my Brittany's are black. All my Brittany's are black.
Really?
Yeah, all three that I know, they're black.
That sounds like a rap lyric.
Right?
Yeah, all my Brittany's are black. You know, bars.
I think I'd be able to find Brittany's, you're right, but the Gretchens will take a while, but I need to find 7 of them, so then I can have a gaggle of Gretchens.
A gaggle?
A gaggle of Gretchens.
A gaggle.
I don't know, a gaggle of Gretchens sounds like they would be surviving in like a bunker, like from Unbreakable. Like it just sounds like all of the women that was in the bunker on Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
They're alive, damn it.
Yeah, but good luck.
I'm telling you, I'm just gonna go to the club. Like I can find Brittany's at the club, boots and cats, and I can find Gretchens at white churches. They don't have to be young.
Just old Gretchen.
Old Gretchen. Librarians.
Would you get like? I don't even know if like you would find an old Gretchen. That don't even seem like an old lady name. Like it seemed like in a way it does seem like an old lady name, but then at the same time it seems like they backed like the old people who could have named their child Gretchen and she'd be like 70 or 80 years old now. I feel like they weren't rocking with Gretchen. They wanted something a little more wholesome. So they rock with Ethel.
Oh God.
Tiffany.
And like they went with something a little more grandma-y.
Ruth.
Because I feel like Gretchen at 70 years old, Gretchen out in the streets. Gretchen ain't nobody. Gretchen, you know, Gretchen like mama gotta have a life too.
Gretchen somewhere licking somebody gooch.
Damn it.
like Gretchen got the old ladies, got the pick me old ladies in the home feeling some kind of way. Cause Gretchen said I ain't old, bitch. You bitches is old.
Damn it.
I'm out here.
I'm out here in these streets. Whoever want to get in these sheets.
Gargling Gretchen.
I'm just saying, when I get placed in a home by my children, my wife and I are going to still walk around nude.
Wow. That's lovely.
I didn't ask to get moved out of my house. I'm going to walk around nude wherever I want. I really think about these things, and then I feel ashamed because I'm like, nobody else thinks about these things. But when I get to be like 70, all bets are off. I'm shocked that I made it this far, and I'm going all out to make sure that I'm happy. I'm going to chew with my mouth open.
Oh, no, please don't.
Duh.
No. Back off that one.
If I have children, if I have grandchildren, rather, because I have children. If I have grandchildren and great-grandchildren, I'm going to take my dentures out while I'm talking to them. And just gum talk at them.
You're going to be sounding like, no.
Yep.
Your grandkids going to be like, Grandpa talking to again. Blah, 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 blah.
Why Grandpa sound like this? I'm going to, I need to find 9 Harriets.
9 Harriets.
Yes.
Do I know? No, I didn't know. I don't know a Harriet.
I need 9 of them so I can have a harem of Harriets.
A harem of Harriet. But why is it just...
Harem of Harriet.
And then when they get into my minivan, it'll be a chariot of Harriet.
Motherfuck. I don't understand. See, I was stuck on you need 9 of them because 9 just seems like it's so many.
Yeah. That seems like overkill.
Right. But I mean, I feel like if you had 6, that's still a harem. But I guess if you're just going up in numbers and everything.
No, I just know how many seats I have in my van, and I need to have a full van of Harriets, a chariot of Harriets.
A chariot of Harriets.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Chariot of Harriets.
Mm-hmm.
A harem of Harriets.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? A gaggle of Gretchens.
Mm-hmm.
A gaggle of Gretchen.
And then a litany of Brittanies.
I feel like this is a children's book.
That's where we are.
a brothel of Brittanies.
Yeah. Now we gotta start thinking of like all the different like animal names. Like I think rats or something is a business. You know, it's a business of rats. I might be wrong, but like that's a term, you know, like as far as like, you know, like it's a pack of this or whatever.
A repartee of rats.
See, it's just the thing is I have to be careful about how I word things because a group of crows is a murder of crows, and if I say a murder of Melissas, I'm going to jail.
You going to jail now?
I'm going straight slam to jail. White folks will be like, I heard him.
I heard him. out there on their phones and they dark ass sunglasses.
Did you hear about the woman who came to Dragon Con dressed up like Barbecue Becky?
Yeah, and jumped in the picture.
Yeah, that's dope.
Somebody's picture. I just wonder. I just want like there was such a reaction of people who seemed like really salty, so it was just like, yo, I hope she really didn't like fuck it. Like there was a part of me that wondered if she like really just fucked up their picture on purpose and they were salty, or if they were like kind of in on the joke, like once she did it and everything, like it was fine. But it was just like some people looked like real, like their faces were really scrunched up.
She said that one person knew about it, and he's the one who told her to get into the picture. So she had one black friend.
We gotta get that guy. We gotta get that guy out of here. That guy can't come to the meetings anymore.
Right.
She
literally said,
go.
I had one friend who was in on the joke and told me to get into the picture, and I was nervous, but he told me to do it. She had one black friend. You had one job.
All they need is a cosign. That's all they need, boy. They'll go out there and do anything you want. All they need is one cosign.
And of course it was a nigga.
Right. It's never a black woman. Black women are never the ones, except in Rachel Dolezal's world. What's happening? It's always the niggas saying, "Go for it. I got your back."
Go ahead, Amelia. It's fine.
Amelia.
Hey, real talk. If you go back and watch, what's that movie with Julia Stiles and Derek Luke? All the Right Moves, no. So You Think You Can Dance, no. Save the Last Dance, no. White People Can't Dance, no.
Wait,
the one with Kerry Washington in it.
That's Save the Last Dance.
It wasn't Save the Last Dance?
And it wasn't Derek Luke. It was a different dude. He was in, it wasn't, he's obviously dark skinned and kind of bald head or whatever.
Was it Fisher?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think Derek Luke was in Antoine Fisher, but this dude from Save the Last Dance. He was the black guy in Cruel Intentions. He was like the music teacher. Yeah. So yeah, different dude.
Huh.
I can't think of his name. He was also in Barbershop, in the first Barbershop.
Yeah.
He was like the uppity dude.
Sean Patrick Thomas.
There you go. I would have never got
that. That is an uppity ass black name.
It is.
That is 3 first names, nigga. That is amazing. You know what? Just like that, without knowing anything else about the dude, I feel like he's hella sedity.
We just judging my dude. I can't think of anything that he's been in recently either.
All that he needs is like to have a number behind it. My name is Sean Patrick Thomas the Fourth. Wait, I didn't say that with the right voice. My name is Sean Patrick Thomas the Fourth. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, no, I remember him from those. He was like in a lot of the early Millennium movies, and then he just was like, I'm rich. I don't need to.
I'm rich, bitch.
Pretty much. Save the Last Dance, 2001. Barbershop, 2002. And Cruel Intentions, 1999. And then he was like, fuck that shit. I'm done.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Huh.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks.
You wanted me to get with that, but fuck that shit, I'm out. No thanks. Fuck that shit, I'm out. No thanks.
Hey.
Fuck that shit, I'm out. No thanks. Fuck that shit, I'm out. You wanted me to take you to the store, but fuck that shit, I'm out. Fuck that shit, I'm out.
No thanks.
Fuck that shit, I'm out. You wanted me to meet her friend, but fuck that shit, I'm out. Fuck that shit, I'm out.
No thanks. I don't really care, but I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
Fuck that shit, I'm out.
We are doing amazing.
Yeah, you wanted me to loan you $50, but fuck
that shit, I'm out. This economy, woo, child.
Keep the engine running, I'll be right back. Nah, fuck that shit, I'm out. Oh, boy. So, I realized something today, and it's important, and it's going to bring you back down, Shantae. And I apologize profusely, but it needs to be said, because I realized this, and it blew my mind. I think that each and every one of us has sometimes gotten pulled over for having expired registration or having expired tags on the vehicle.
Ooh, somebody in my apartment complex just got their shit towed for that yesterday.
Oh wow! Wow,
that's a lot. Like if a apartment complex is towing your shit, that means they snitching.
Yeah, that's wild.
Somebody snitched. Because working with the DMV like I used to, I know that you have to call. Like there used to be people who would walk through our parking lot because we were the DMV. And so if you were an employee working at the DMV and you had expired tags in one of our parking lots, my boss, who was a white woman, that's a coincidence, probably not, would call the tow company to come and tow your car if you had expired tags.
What a bitch.
Yeah. Fuck that shit, I'm out. I promoted. You wanted me to make the call, but fuck that shit, I'm out. Fuck that shit, I'm out.
Like, that's so stupid, though. Like, some people just are really just
don't mind they
sticklers. Yeah, just like mind your business. Like, that has nothing to, like, you're not gonna get any extra money off that shit. Like, I don't understand the motivation.
Now, in fairness, this motherfucker was rolling around with a tag. Like, it literally had like a tag with like nothing on it. Like, the shit was just completely blank. So they was a stupid motherfucker. However, they whoever snitched still should have minded their business.
Mm-hmm.
But they was a stupid motherfucker. I'm talking about this shit was just blank. You might as well have just had a piece of paper on the motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Fuck that shit, I'm out.
I'm out.
But everybody has, not everybody, but a lot of people that I know have gotten pulled over for having expired tags. Mm-hmm. And I've made jokes about people getting nervous when they have expired tags and pulling over every time the cop gets around them, pulling into a parking lot or pulling into, making a left or a right on the street that they usually wouldn't make a right on. They always stayed in the right lane so then they could escape if a cop got like 3 cars behind them, they pull off into a parking lot for an apartment or something like that so they could dodge the cops until they got their tags paid. And I always thought that was like, look at them outsmarting the popos, look at them dodging the cops and all that kind of stuff. But that was when I was like 18, 19. I'm 38. And I realized today that you can't see the tags of the car in front of you when you're driving. If the car is 2 car lengths ahead of you like they should be and you're not tailgating like you shouldn't be, it's really hard to see the tags of a vehicle. Like, even if you see the color of the tag, which happens sometimes, I guess, it's hard to see the month of the tag on the other side. And it's hard to do all of that while somebody's going 70, 80 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. Which really helped me realize cops are using that to racially profile motherfuckers. Like, they will pull you over and then be like, you have expired tags. That's why I pulled you over. No, it's not. No, it's not. There's no way in the world. I am convinced now. I had Kid Awesome while we were driving back from his basketball practice. I had him try and see if he could see the tag, what year the tag was or what color the tag was while we were driving past vehicles. And he got 2 out of like 8. And he's 11. His eyes are the best that they're going to be. You can't tell me that a cop riding around at like 9 o'clock at night is able to see that you have an expired tag on the freeway.
Yeah, yes, it definitely makes sense. Like, if you're driving, over 50, 60, 70 miles an hour, there's no way they're going to see it. If anything, if anything, they're more likely to catch you on just a regular city street where there's actually stoplights, and then they might catch you like that. Maybe. But I would think that they would have to be like right behind you. If they're going to stop you over, if they're going to pretend to stop you over the tag and not stop you over some other type of traffic violation that they might be able to make look good. Like, you didn't use your blinker or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm. So now I'm convinced that they've been using that. And we've just been taking it because we did have expired tags. And it's like, damn, how'd they know? They guessed, nigga. They pulled you over. They thought they could get you on something else. And then when they couldn't, they walked back to their car to sit there in their car. Because now that we've heard, with the advent of social media and the recordings and people taping conversation and everything, we know that cops will sit in their car until they think of a reason to arrest you. Back then, we didn't know that. And so I'm pretty confident that this is one of the reasons they come up with. If anybody wants to convince me that I'm wrong, you're more than... forget that. Fuck that shit. I'm out because I'm correct. It doesn't work that way. I just saw a cop speeding down the street. There's nothing else to this. It was just a cop literally breaking the law that they would have pulled us over for. And then when you say, well, I was following you, they'd be like, well, you have expired tags. Let me search your car. Oh, are you on parole? Oh boy. Well, in that case, get out the car. Sit on the curb. Oh, you're not on parole? My fault. Well, let me look in your car. Oh, I can't? Well, let me write you a ticket for having an expired tag, for having a tail light out. My parents used to tell me all the time, make sure that you have everything as up to date as possible in your car, and I never really understood why until I got older and realized that cops don't need much of a reason to pull you over and even less of a reason to shoot you.
Yep.
So all they were doing was trying to keep you safe. You think they're being overbearing and all that? Nah, they're trying to keep you as far away from the big bad wolf as possible. Hey, nigga, don't go out there with that bone in your pocket. The dogs will come and get you. Fix that, fix that, fix that. Make sure that everything is all set up. Pull your pants up. Brush your hair. Look respectable. And you're like, man, my parents are just so old-fashioned. No, they just want you to stay alive. It took me a while to get that. But it's like one of those things where once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's kind of it's not even disappointing at this juncture though. It's straight up depressing. Y'all got any thoughts on it?
I don't know. It makes me feel it like it doesn't necessarily sound like it, but it makes me feel, rage. Like that's the way I feel. Like most days, it's I'm taking care of my kids. I'm trying to be a wife to my husband and podcast and joke and be a good friend and all this different kind of stuff, bullshit with my calligraphy and everything. But under all that is rage. Like you see me out in the streets and I'm smiling and shit, or I'm making jokes. I'm mad. Like I'm really, really mad. It's just that I can't do anything with that as far as like that's concerned. Like obviously I can channel that into supporting people who are doing good things, whether it's in their community or on the internet or whatever. But no, it's like I look cool, but I'm mad.
Got a lot to be mad about.
Always.
Solange told us. Solange tried to told us.
Got anything, Jeremy?
That shit, I'm out.
All right, for sure. So, this week's Adventures in Working with White Women is actually an adventure in working with white men. Because sometimes they do things so just absolute fuckery that we have no choice but to get on them the same way that we get on everybody else. So this is like an 8-minute video of a show called Daily Blast Live, which had recently a contentious discussion about political correctness and white privilege between the hosts, who are Al Jackson and Bo Davidson. It came out on Wednesday. There's 4 hosts, because that's the way that they do it now with the view and the voice and the blurb and the discussion and real talk with Rachel and I don't know what they're all called.
The sign language.
Really? It's ASL. The ASL. Jeremy, come on. I just signed something to you that you wouldn't like. But, so all these shows generally have 4 people on them, 5 maybe. All these shows generally have like 1 black person, the rest of them are multicultural but not black. And POC. All these shows,
POC, hold it down.
And all of these shows generally have everybody's opinion except for the black person. So, on this show, they finally, they had a chance to discuss the racist cartoon about Serena Williams, which, did we talk about that yet, Shantae?
No. I'm almost positive that it came out the next day. Like Serena, like Serena played, I think that played last Friday night, we recorded, and then the cartoon came out the next day. So no, we haven't talked about it.
No, we didn't. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
I would just like to say that, and I said this when me and Bianca talked about it on Crown and Collars, and I'll reiterate that here. Guys, hey, friends, hello, it me, Jeremy. Sometimes we don't need to retweet things, even if we're rightfully correcting them. Sometimes it's just not necessary. I parroting the phrase from Bianca. I mean, you still get your woke points for just saying that the shit is foul and trash, but sometimes you don't need to retweet things and expose people to things in order to say that they're wrong.
Agreed. Because I like that picture hit that morning, and it was just like, okay, I'm muting this dude. I'm muting this account. I'm blocking this account, and that's the end of it. I think we are too quick You know, and this is specifically social media. This is specifically Twitter and perhaps Black Twitter. At the most specific, we are too quick to engage and retweet fuck shit. That is just like that picture was fuck shit. It didn't need to be retweeted in order to say it was bullshit, like you said already. You know, and like Bianca has said already. Mm-hmm. That it just didn't need to be blasted off, other than saying like, hey, this is the account and you should block this account. You should mute this account. You should report this account for spam. But we didn't have to continuously post that picture, repost that picture, you know, post that picture on our Instagrams to say that it was whack. What is just like, no, I don't think we have to do that. And it's the same thing if we're like, you know, if it's like some whack motherfucker who's got 12 followers, we don't have to quote tweet that motherfucker to put that person on blast or whatever. We need to block these motherfuckers. We need to leave them alone, especially when it's like somebody who's got like, you know, you got somebody who's got like 10K followers, you know, quote tweeting somebody who's got 12. Like, for what? Like, that person doesn't need that kind of shine. Like, we got to let some of that shit go.
Leave them alone so they can leave us alone.
See, I don't even know if they're going to leave us alone. Mm-mm. I just think that we need boundaries. And we need to exercise those boundaries. It's just like, okay, you jump in my shit. And it's just like, no, I don't need to retweet you. I don't even need to engage you. I block you. And that's the end of it. And it's over with.
Agreed. But at the end, beginning, and middle of the day, leave us alone.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, that's just been a mood. Why are we here? Stop. Hashtag y'all. But y'all stop texting y'all selves and putting it on goddamn Twitter to get the timeline arguing and shit. Please leave us alone. Please leave us alone. Please, and listen. Far be it from me to be problematic here, but especially women's, please leave us alone with these goddamn text messages that y'all, over these dudes that text y'all. Listen, we know men trash. We don't need y'all texting y'all selves or posting screenshots of these conversations y'all had with these niggas for us to know niggas ain't shit. Leave us alone. Please leave us alone. Please leave us alone, because y'all looking the fuck stupid, and then it's bothering me and my homegirl. Please leave us alone.
That is a mess. Because what I see, and obviously we have segued away from.
Oh, no worries.
But with those text messages, it's just like, it's like, you know, 3-4 screenshots of text messages, and it's
like,
just
girl,
like, babe,
block him. Shit.
Like, babe, you should have got, like, he was out of pocket in the first page, and here it is, 3 sentences. And, like, you should have let that dude go. Like, there's nothing else to discuss. But, you know, you do what you got to do. You live and you learn. Hopefully, I guess. I don't know.
Shantae don't know, but I know. Please leave us alone. Block him. Shit. Okay. What? All right. Okay, we're done. Bring us back, Rashanii.
Are you? I mean,
touche, my nigga, touche.
I mean, no, I'm just saying, you know, I feel like y'all glanced over the situation, but you really didn't delve into the situation of any of this. Like, that was just a cursory statement that wasn't really getting into the meat of the situation.
The meat and potatoes.
Right. I feel like y'all could have done more if you had tried a little bit harder. I will give that quick review a 6 out of 10.
So you're saying we slipping on our pippin is what you're saying?
I'm just pointing it out real quick. Like, I felt engaged at times, but overall did not feel like the conversation was catering to a ratchet nigga like myself.
Hilarious.
There's only so much we can say without, like, I don't know. Because I guess for me, I don't want to be mean. I think it's
that's
what
the
it
thing. Shantae, drink more. When you drink more,
no, yo, I stopped drinking. Like seriously, I stopped drinking. Like, well, I mean, I have stopped drinking because it was at a point where I was drinking alcohol, not really feeling anything, but was still waking up with a damn hangover.
Damn.
So I have stopped.
Okay, I support that.
I have let it go for a little while with the hope that my tolerance
will drop back down.
Will drop a little bit so that I can drink again and actually feel something, but not really drink to quitting. The point.
You're just walking away like those cartoons where they're trying to catch the thing, and you're going to turn right back around and dive on the bottle when it's not looking anymore.
I mean, this is the thing. I mean, this is kind of like what it's going to be. It's just that right now I'm not drinking at home. Like, obviously, if we went out to a restaurant or something, I would order a drink, but I'm not going to get drunk off of that kind of drink. I don't expect to feel like any kind of buzz or whatever. It's just like I go to Chili's and want a Presidente. I just want a motherfucking Presidente, because I like it, but, it's whatever. But yeah, like at the crib, I'm not getting the big bottle of the Barefoot Pinot Grigio and like drinking it and feeling anything at this point. It's just like, no, I'm not. So I had to lay off of it.
I kind of want a Presidente now. Anyhow, adventures in working with white women men. It's an 8-minute video where they were
amazing, Rashanii.
I tried it. White women men. But it's they were talking about, are we living in a new PC world? That was one of the white hosts. Again, 3 white people, 1 black.
And is this an American show?
It's an American show.
Okay.
It comes on a channel.
Okay.
It's actually a daily live streaming show on social media.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably a Facebook Live show or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, here we go. 8 minutes.
I make the presumptions that everyone's lives are wonderful and happy, and we learn now that they're not. So, you never really know what someone's going through. Mm-hmm. That's something to consider. Mm-hmm.
Y'all can't see this, but that white boy looked directly at the camera when he said that. Like, he meant it so much. That was like his moment. That was it. Like, he looked into the camera like that was a the more you know type moment.
Mm-hmm. Like he had his He-Man at the end.
Right. He looks like motherfucking He-Man. Like, he looked.
You got a bowl cut?
This was his moment.
He was so proud of himself.
Man.
World. That's the question this Australian newspaper is asking. It all started with this cartoon, okay, of Serena Williams that we shared here with you earlier this week. It was widely condemned for being racist. And now that paper has doubled down, reprinting part of the cartoon on today's cover. And they're not the only media outlet responding to this question. The Tonight Show, they canceled a planned appearance by comedian Norm Macdonald last night after he made a controversial comment about the Me Too movement. Norm told The Hollywood Reporter he was, quote, happy the Me Too movement has slowed down a bit. And Norm has since apologized. So, Al, you're a comedian. A lot of people are arguing that cartoon, let's go back to the cartoon, that the cartoon is not racist, it's satire, and they have a freedom of speech to do so. What would you say to that?
I'd say that, racism is depending on who's privileged and who isn't. The person that wrote that, I'm assuming, is a white male. And a white male can never understand what marginalized people feel and think, and I absolutely cannot tell them what to think and feel. I know, Bo, that you have different opinions. I know that you think that Trump has been lampooned in cartoons. And what I'll say to that is this. People don't believe in white privilege. They don't think that it's a thing. But, I'll ask you this, and this is going to sound like a shot, but it's not. You're on a social media show, and you have 100 Twitter followers.
That's a shot.
Right? That's somebody saying... That's somebody saying no shade, but insert shade.
Like you ain't worthy of this shit. That's what that basically is. Like, you talking about social media, but your social media is wanting.
He's like, this guy's a gangster. His real name's Clarence.
You
get your followers up, my nigga. That's what
you wish a little account.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
Instagram followers. I have 30,000. I have a master's in biomedical sciences. I have over 200 TV appearances. You are the living embodiment of white privilege. You have no business on this panel with us, but you're here because of your privilege. I have hundreds of black people, brown people on my phone that are more qualified, have done more in their career to deserve to be in that seat. But you sit there because of your white privilege.
Yikes!
No shots, no shade.
Jesus Christ!
He's letting this dude have it, but it's trying to downplay. It's trying to downplay.
Like no shade, but all the shade. God damn. Shit.
Like he just said, you ain't like. Yeah. Wow.
He just said you're not that cute. Your hands ain't even. You look dusty. Jesus Christ. Continue, Rashanii. Shit.
Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, Al.
No, these are just facts. We need numbers.
No, I'm just saying I'm sorry you feel that way because I've had to fight for everything in my life. And that's something.
What was it? Wait. Wait. I'm sorry you feel that way. No, baby, these just facts.
Yeah. Because that's a non-apology one. And then I love him he coming back like, no, I don't feel any way about this shit. This is just is.
Listen, the best shade when it ain't even shade is just facts. And it's a drag in itself. Okay, continue.
I also want to point out the fact that the white woman who introduced Al said he was a comedian, and he took time out to say, I have a degree in biomedicine and this and this and this. Don't call me a comedian, motherfucker. He's the joke.
Page, so we don't know what you.
No, I didn't delete my Twitter page. It's incorrect. But when you have.
Hold on, let me rewind back a little bit. Let me get back to where. Okay. Are they deleting this?
People don't believe in white privilege. They don't think that it's a thing. But
I just want to hear it all over
again. This is going to sound like a shot, but it's not. You're on a social media show, and you have 100 Twitter followers. You have 1,000 Instagram followers. I have 30,000. I have a master's in biomedical sciences. I have over 200 TV appearances. You are the living embodiment of white privilege. You have no business on this panel with us, but you're here because of your privilege. I have hundreds of black people, brown people on my phone that are more qualified, have done more in their career to deserve to be in that seat. But you sit there because of your white privilege.
Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, Al.
No, these are just facts. We need numbers.
No, I'm just saying I'm sorry you feel that way because I've had to fight for everything in my life. And that's something, as I just said, when you look at somebody, you don't know what they're going through. Right. You have no idea what I've been through. You have no idea that a politician...
We can't because you deleted your Twitter page, so we don't know what you...
No, I didn't.
All my life I has to fight. Al.
Yo, this nigga is a lesson in shade, cause god damn if he ain't this is a read. Jesus Christ. Woo.
All my life I has to fight. Can I say the N-word? No? Okay. Al.
Like, all right, I get this is like on the one hand what he's saying totally makes sense in the way that you don't know what somebody has gone through. It totally makes sense, like on a human level. The problem with that is that white people want everybody else to give them that benefit of the doubt while they completely withhold that same benefit of the doubt for everybody else. That's why the shit don't hold water.
The shit don't hold water. You are doing amazing, Shantae.
It's like it would totally make sense that no, we don't know what everybody is going through. We don't know, what kind of obstacles different people have had to go through and all this different kind of stuff. But as soon as, a white person sees somebody black, they instantly go to, the same. If a white person sees somebody black in a position that they don't think that they should be in, it doesn't turn into them being somebody who might have fought through a whole bunch of obstacles and got there and is deserving. It's them. They must have got a scholarship for being black. They must have known somebody. They must have did, all this other bullshit that same shit that could have happened to them You know, lots of people get stuff because they know somebody, but somehow the black person or whoever it is, the person of color, they're unworthy. And that's the problem.
Hey, white folks' compassion don't even slap, cool.
When you have a publicist in Nashville who tries to take advantage of me sexually, how do you feel about that? When I have to go through and make higher grades than a lot of people because I have to try to get into the school that I want to get into, when I have to fight for every acting role, for every musical appearance, for every song that I write, these are things that people have a hard time doing. I've had a hard time doing it. So I'm sorry that you feel the need to minimize me.
Take what you just said and imagine if you were a black woman.
Well, I'm just sorry that you feel the need to marginalize me.
How many fewer roles there are for black women? So if you're trying out for roles,
I'll put it this way, I'm not rich, Al. I'm not. I wish I were. I was poor in money, but I was rich in spirit. I've got faith. God guides me, and that's all that matters is the man upstairs.
Is it? Did we want to read some of your tweets? Did he help you write those?
It does to me, Al, when God matters to me and my faith matters to me, and I'm sorry that you.
I just wish your God took care of everybody.
See, and that's whack too. Yeah. That's whack too. That's another thing that they do. They try to throw stuff at you, so if you dismiss it, you look like an asshole for dismissing the shit. When they're really the one who's the asshole. Like, oh man, I love God and everything. And it's just like, there's so many people that do, because this is like, you know, lots of motherfuckers here are Christian. They hear that and they're like, yes, I love God too. And then here's this black dude who's just like, okay, whatever the fuck, roll their eyes at his shit. And now he looks like an asshole. When it was like a trick, almost. You know, you throw in whatever you think is going to get the group of people listening to you to sympathize with you and to get on your side, instead of just, you know, talking about the facts of the situation. You derail it with some bullshit.
No shade, though. I'm just saying, dude, the Al came in with facts, and the white dude immediately started playing the race card, which I was surprised by. I was like, mwah, I didn't expect it to come out so quickly. But I grew up poor.
Right.
I had to get good grades to stay in college to make it to the school I wanted to go to. I didn't get in the movies. And then when Al was like, yeah, now imagine that you were a black woman and see how much harder your life would have been. I believe in Jesus.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they deleted this.
Emotional conversation.
I'm not emotional. I'm fine. Don't label me as hysterical. I'm not saying you. But that's what you absolutely are not. But I mean, that's usually because I'll get called salty Al and be funny.
You're right.
Some things aren't funny.
It's let me finish my thought. It's emotional in the sense that here we're talking about a cartoon that some people, and I'm looking at social media, and I know you said this earlier, Bo, and I'm welcoming this conversation, believe that it's not racist or they have the freedom of the speech to do so. And I agree with the First Amendment is right. As well. And I mentioned earlier about my white privilege, that I can only lead by empathy. I can only imagine what Al must feel when he looks at that cartoon, knowing that your grandfather was read
my father.
Your father, yes. I'm sorry. Yeah. Your father was read.
I, as a young child, watched racist cartoons.
Right.
And I don't think that there's a lot of people that understand that that's what we grow up with. Like in my lifetime, I've seen it in my face. I've been made fun of. I've seen friends made fun of because of the size of their lips. And we saw immediately with that cartoon, that was the first thing that was oversized was Serena's lips. And for people to look at that, it's bad either way. If you look at that and you're saying it's not racist because you're racist, but you just wanted to be out there, that's bad. But if you look at that and you don't see where the racism is in that, that's even worse. I cannot believe you've made it this far in life, which again goes back to your white privilege, that allows you to look at a cartoon like that and you just see a woman jumping up and down rather than an entire people that have been marginalized and lampooned and made fun of for their looks for their entire lives.
You know, Judge Antonin Scalia, I think, said it best. He said, it kills me and I'm offended that the flag gets burned, but I believe in the First Amendment.
See, that's stupid. That's stupid. That's stupid. They try to turn the First Amendment into something when the First Amendment, it's about the government not being able to hinder you because of the things that you say. That is what the First Amendment is about. It is about the government not being able to throw you in prison behind some shit that you've said. Behind some, you know, if you say some out the way shit, the government cannot roll up on you. As far as the Constitution is concerned, that doesn't mean that they won't do the shit. It's just that as far as the First Amendment is concerned, it is about the government not being able to stop you. So when these stupid motherfuckers conflate the First Amendment with someone being able to say something is racist or not, it doesn't make any sense. You can say anything you want to if you want to say the shit. The problem is these white people get on these shows and get in these articles and stuff and turn it into a First Amendment issue when it's really about you not being able to handle the consequences of the shit that you said.
The First Amendment don't protect you from these hands.
I mean, that's right. That's really all it is. It's just like, look, this motherfucker posted that posted the picture. He drew the shit. He posted it, and it turned into a shitstorm for that dude. Now obviously the paper has, like Rashanii said, doubled down on the shit and everything, but this is about consequences, and either you can take those consequences or you can't, and you can't try to turn the First Amendment because motherfuckers is mad at you. Motherfuckers don't, they want to boycott you. They want to do this. They want to do that. They want to block you, call, report your account as spam, whatever. You can't turn that and say like, oh, First Amendment, I should be able to say anything, political correctness, censorship. No, motherfucker, that's not what this is. This is you being out of pocket and the market, society, whatever, saying you're out of pocket and we don't like this shit.
See these hands?
Like, I don't know. It's some frustrating ass bullshit with these white people and they little first, they want to cloak themselves in the First Amendment, but then, be mad at Colin Kaepernick exercising his First Amendment rights. Be mad at Kenny Stills, be mad at all, any of the other dudes at this point who are taking a knee in the NFL. They want to be mad at that First Amendment right. Oh no, you're offending the troops. Oh no, you don't care about America. But it's like that's his First Amendment right. What's up with that?
When the troops literally told him to kneel.
But that's the thing about white people. They are consistently inconsistent.
Correct.
That's really what it comes down to.
Respect the troops, but a troop literally told him to kneel. Respect the troops.
Respect the troops, except for the troops who are black, who go overseas to fight and then come back and you can still call them a nigger.
Yeah, or respect the troops, but you ain't mad that these Congress people are taking away funding for the VA, making it harder for them to get, help, mental health help or whatever. They struggling. It's just like, man, you bullshit.
White folks crazy.
Yeah.
And dangerous.
Yeah.
I say her shit too.
Yeah!
We'll be right back. This single simulcast. Y'all need to get something to drink?
Nah, I'm good.
Hey, this is Charlotte. Black Lives Matter. Glenda Castile, Life Matters. Single simulcast is what you're listening to.
Hi, I'm Fallon of FallonKitty.com, a critic and creator, and you're listening to Single Simulcast.
Hey everybody, this is Rachel, not Rach, also known as at Get Off My Planet on Twitter, and you're listening to Single Simulcast, your favorite podcaster's favorite podcast, and also mine. You should check me out on my podcast with my husband at wormhole_planet is our Twitter, planetwormhole.com. Thanks for listening, and we love you guys.
Hey, this is Sharonda, and you're listening to Single Simulcast.
Hey, this is Marla, owner of Velvet Lips and co-founder of the Sex Down South Conference, and you are listening to Single Simulcast.
That was simply sensational. Single Simulcast will surely surface speedily. Bitches.
Hey everybody, this is Gerald Jones from Buy Black Podcast, the voice of black business, where we interview black business owners to help you get to know them, to help them teach you a little something, and for all of us to do a little bit more to support black business owners and the black economy. You guys are listening to Single Simulcast with Shantae and Rashanii, and I appreciate every minute I get to spend with these folks. I know y'all do too. Keep listening.
Like makeup? Interested in mental health? Check out lithiumtolashes.com, where I talk about my own everyday struggles with mental health and beat my face from time to time. This is Single Simulcast.
Hi, this is your man Jeremey from the Crown of College Podcast, and you are listening to Single Simulcast with my man Rashanii and Shantae Fabulous, your favorite podcaster's favorite podcaster. And I'm your favorite podcaster. So that should be your favorite podcaster, because I'm your fave, and your fave's fave. Check them out on Single Simulcast. And check out Crown of College, found wherever you can find great podcasts and the CSPN network.
Hello, this is Stephanie from the Mocha Minutes Podcast. If you can hear my voice, that means you're tuning in to two of my faves, Rashanii and Shantae Fabulous of the Single Simulcast. Congrats! You made a really good choice today. You want to make another good choice? Check me out on the Mocha Minutes Podcast. You won't be disappointed. If you're tuning in to the Single Simulcast, you're going to love the Mocha Minutes Podcast too. You can find the Mocha Minutes Podcast wherever you find your podcasts. Would love to have you tune in. Okay. Bye.
Hi, this is Deshaun, a.k.a. Big Boy 1077 from Spit That Ish Podcast. It's a sports podcast on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and that's about it. We've been doing it for 5 weeks now. It's pretty awesome. I have a co-host named Justin. We talk about everything current in sports. And thanks to Rashanii, and this is a Single Simulcast.
Who Raised You podcast is a kitchen table conversation between Karen, Jalian Yang, and
Treasure Shields Redmond.
As we explore how culture, family, and intersecting identities pave our way toward liberation, we want to know, who raised you? We're curious and sometimes a bit irritated. Sit down, we have lots to talk about.
Single Simulcast episode 317. Shantae's here. Jeremy's here. I'm still here. So there's this game called The Witcher. Mm-hmm. And I have this game. It's just on the list of games that I haven't played yet because I know as soon as I play it, I'm not going to play anything else. Because it's supposed to be like, at the very least, part 3 is supposed to be like amazing and just like so expansive and so engaging and so great. And I just got through a rough relationship with Horizon Zero Dawn. And now I'm in a relationship with Peter Parker, so I don't know if I'm going to have time to play The Witcher anytime soon. But I know enough about it to know that there's characters in it, and some of them are white. But they're making a version of The Witcher for Netflix, which is I'm cool with that because the Netflix version of Castlevania has been amazing, and I'm hoping they put out season 2 pretty soon because I'm sick and tired of waiting because they only gave us 4 episodes in the first season, which was some garbage in my opinion, but as usual I digress.
It comes out in October, I think. Yes. I'm pretty sure I saw a little blurb of whatever. It is supposed to be coming out this year, so I want to say October. I might be wrong, but still, this year.
That's all I've been waiting for. You know, just like a good 20-episode season to make up for the fact that the first season only had 4 episodes. You still owe me, but it was greatness. But yeah, Netflix is hopefully they're hoping that this version of The Witcher is going to be the game to screen adaptation that the viewers and players want and deserve. But already it's being fucked with by white people. People have started a petition to block the casting of, quote, black, Asian, and those of non-white ethnic backgrounds for the upcoming show. after a casting call surfaced looking for an actress to play Siri. The recent casting call for Siri reveals that they're looking for a 15 or 16-year-old girl. Now, they're looking for a 15 or 16-year-old BAME girl, which, for those who are unaware, stands for Black, Asian, and non-white minority ethnic backgrounds. And the petition goes on to say, I, as well as many other fans of this series, believe that the best actress, and not the most diverse actress, should be cast as Siri. People are also calling out for the entire cast to be white, suggesting that the petition has encouraged people to sign for their own racist agendas.
Motherfucker, I guess. I mean, they are. It's like white people are so annoying with this whole, well, it needs to be the best actress kind of thing, as if.
Shantae, you could have stopped that. White people are annoying.
It's just this. It's like they ignore the possibility that even a right-thinking white person might need to change the playing field in a way so they don't lean on something that they would regularly do. Like, yes, it would make sense if you just say, okay, we want all these different actresses and whatever, and we're going to choose the best one. But a lot of people don't always choose the best. They choose what's familiar. And so they might be thinking like, okay, well, we're bringing in all these different types of people to come in to read for this role, but they fuck around and they choose a white girl anyway. So why not just say, okay, well, look, we want this character to look different. We don't want to have perhaps a white damsel in distress or whatever, because I have no idea what this character is supposed to be. But basically, it's just like, we are not going to put a white woman, a white girl in this position. We want someone else to be in this position that isn't a white girl or a white woman. And we are actively making that choice by looking for these actresses to come in. There's nothing wrong with that. And I, obviously white people feel some kind of way, and they got this petition going, but it makes sense to stop yourself from doing something that you would normally do. And this is how you do it. This is one of the ways. You say, you have to actively, like, I feel like in order for diversity or whatever the fuck you're trying to make happen, to have black and brown and other people of color in something, you have to actively pursue it. You cannot halfway do it, because if you halfway do it, you're not going to make it. You have to actively make a choice. You have to say, yes, we are looking for this type of person. This is what we want. And the people with the petition need to just shut the fuck up, because they're going to watch the show anyway. That's what's really the gag. Whether they watch it and are happy with it or whether they hate watch it, they're still going to watch the shit. So they might as well just shut the fuck up.
I love you. I mean, really, like, we could just go to the next fucking story. Like, I don't even, like, Jeremy just... Right. Okay, cool. Just making sure that we're on the same page. The same page for me and Jeremy is just to shut the fuck up, because Shantae just killed that shit. Dropped the mic and set it on fire. A woman wrote a book called How to Murder Your Husband. She did that. And then she... Fuck it. In a twist of irony so devious that it would have turned Agatha Christie green with envy, Oregon chef Daniel Brophy was found shot to death nearly 7 years after his wife of 27 years penned an essay called How to Murder Your Husband. Nancy Crampton Brophy, the writer of sensuous mysteries such as Hell on the Heart and The Wrong Husband.
Yikes!
Was arrested for murder on September 5th, more than 3 months after the death of her spouse. Quote, Dan was one of the very few people I've known that knew exactly what he wanted in life and loved doing it, she said at a candlelight vigil 2 days after his demise. Oregon cops were mum on arrest details, such as why she was taken into custody only last week. Well, it's because she's white. But yeah. She said that his side of the bedroom was haunting her, and she might move away to escape her old life.
Not bad.
But she moved away now to jail. She's arrested. She's currently in custody. But yeah, how to get away with murder. Let me prove it.
Yeah. So she wrote some stories, and then like a few months ago,
tried it.
Allegedly shot her husband and tried to. Yikes! Like, yeah, I don't know. I wonder like how fed up she was. Like, I guess it's just because she looked, because she was, the mugshot. What I assume is a mugshot. This is an older white woman. So it's just like, well, were you trying to get the insurance money? Did you have maybe a younger dude on the side that you was trying to, get old boy out the way? Or it's just, I don't know. I guess it's just, I wonder, it always seems like it's a young person kind of thing. Unfortunately, it seems like if you tell me it was somebody young who did it, they're not thinking straight because they're young. They feel like they got their life ahead of them or whatever, so they make a stupid ass decision. Where it's just like, this is like an older white lady and like she got books or, I would think she got her own money. Like, you can't just leave old boy.
Not till she tries out her theories.
Like, I don't know, sis. It wasn't the move. Like, I don't understand why people, you got to be a really meticulous kind of person to pull it off. Because so many people just get caught up. Like, they think they got it. They think they've seen enough CSIs or whatever to pull it off. And it's just like, no, you don't. You haven't. I don't know. Good luck out there.
Oh,
Good
she's
luck,
in
everybody.
there. She's in there. She's gonna be one of them meet an inmate people. I'm a writer, and I want to find a way to pencil myself into your heart.
Oh, like pen pals.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because I'm locked up.
Wow.
Model Devin Windsor has apologized for comments she made, suggesting that she can relate to the struggles of women of color because she's blonde.
Childish. Woo! That was just really, 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 you know what the problem is? People need to stop trying to relate to things that people say and more try to engage the person on what they said. Because if she was just like, oh, wow, that's, what is that like? How do you feel? All that different kind of stuff, like really engaging the person that's speaking to her rather than trying to relate it to herself, she wouldn't seem like a dumbass.
And she sounded like a straight dumbass. Sorry, go ahead.
That's where people, I think, get the game fucked up. And that's just communication wise. Like, somebody tweeted about that. They were talking about how they realized that they weren't a good listener. And they realized they weren't a good listener because they were always trying to relate whatever the situation the other person was talking about back to them. So it was almost like they weren't validating what the other person had said to them. It's like so-and-so talks about how they feel about XYZ, and the person, instead of continuing on with the conversation, letting that person be the focus, they spin the shit back to them and how XYZ affects them.
Mm-hmm. And the way that she went about equating her own struggles as a white model with the unique issues faced by women of color, she sounded a teensy bit self-centered and really, really bad. Like, quote, I literally fucking went through hell and literally lived in different countries like every other month and didn't speak that language, she said. Here we go. I didn't speak Paris.
Yeah.
I didn't speak Paris. I didn't speak Italian. And I did that for like 2 years. You know how hard it is to be blonde? I have to get a highlight every month. Do you know how expensive that is? Also, she can't speak Paris.
See, but that's the thing, though. That is just like what if she had engaged the women who were speaking to her about their experience? It probably could have gone differently. And if she had engaged them, then maybe she could have talked about what it's like to be in a country where she doesn't speak the language. Because that's valid. That's a valid kind of thing. You go someplace and you feel out of sorts. But equating it to like having blonde hair is just silly. You know, like, oh my God, I have to get a highlight. Oh my God, it's so expensive. Like, that's nothing. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But that's her being, like you said, being self-centered. She's not focusing on the conversation, on the people who are speaking to her. You know, she's centering herself. And now she out here looking foolly.
But all she has to do is apologize and say that she was misquoted. And that she told him to put his hands up and he didn't follow her. Wait, wrong white woman. Getting my white woman excuses mixed up here. My fault. So, y'all know California is like all under fire. Like, it's burning down right now. And,
Cali is burning.
Yeah. I just wish it would rain here like it does up in Lobster, Maine. A woman saw an opportunity as hundreds of firefighters, and real quick, inmates are making a penny an hour to put out fires for rich motherfuckers in California. Mm-hmm. And then can't get out and get a job as a firefighter. I just want to point that out. Again, I know we talked about this. I know we talk about it all the time, but you know what? The shit ain't changed. It's still shitty as shit. I just want to point that out again.
Is trash.
Oh, yeah.
This like Zach Morris.
Bozak. I thought you said Boozak. As hundreds of firefighters work around the clock to contain the destructive holy fire in California, law enforcement said a woman worked to scam dozens of generous people. Quote, she posed as the wife of a Cal fireman, a fireman that was deployed to the location. End quote. Orange County Sheriff.
What is you doing?
Just wait. The most. They said the 28-year-old Ashley Bemis posted on the community Facebook page asking for donations for her firefighter husband and others. Part of her message said, quote, I wanted to put it out there to everyone and say I will happily meet you and pick up any donation to the firefighters and first responders that are on the first lines right now. Investigators said people who knew her became suspicious. A search warrant affidavit said CAL FIRE officials ran her husband's name, Shane Goodman, through a national database and nothing came up. In fact, they said she ain't even married.
Duh!
And may have even created a fake Facebook page of her so-called husband. During a search of her apartment and garage, deputies found more than $11,000 in goods and cash.
Mm.
I just want to point this out real quick. White people, come close to the. Are you listening? Okay, so I'm just saying white people because they never believe us black folks when we say we need money, but y'all white folks just be pulling off like 400,000 GoFundMe's and shit while we can't even get $26 to get fucking medication. These motherfuckers is getting like $4 million because they say I'm hungry and want some. What the fuck did that dude say? I'm hungry and want some potato salad. And they gave him like $1 million. It went viral. White people are like amazing when it comes to just lazily working their way into success. Anyhow, here's what I would say to all y'all folks who's out there trying to scam the system, scam donations, scam whatever. Here's what you do: spend it. That's really it. Spend it, don't keep receipts. Just spend it. Haven't you seen Brewster's Millions? It can be done. It's only $11,000. It's not like you have millions or something. It can be done. Spend that shit. Pay off everything. And then when they come looking for you, at least everything's paid off. I would if I had the opportunity, but I don't. Because people don't believe us when we say we need help. They're like, ha, bootstraps. Oh, look, this white woman needs a fur coat for her cat. The irony. Let's give her $60,000. Just saying.
Yo, I think the greatest thing I've ever seen, though, real talk, was that black man who put that GoFundMe for racists to send him back to Africa, and they did. I would never forget that shit. That shit was genius. That motherfucker made a GoFundMe for motherfuckers to send him back to Africa, and them motherfuckers so blinded by their racism, they did. That was the scam of the century. I stand a king.
I'm just saying. You want me to go home so bad? Prove it.
Hello?
Shit, I'm gonna just get the money and not go anywhere.
Right?
He didn't. He ain't going no damn well.
It is not in my contract that I actually have to listen to you motherfuckers.
You just got to give me the money because you stupid.
Mm-hmm. I ain't going nowhere.
That.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, almost forgot. Yesterday, which was Thursday, for all y'all who are listening to this, Thursday, September the 13th. First of all, Nisha, we bought her a new car for her birthday to replace a car that got totaled in the car accident a couple weeks back, beginning of August. So we got her a new car, and so we drove her new car yesterday to this thing that they have out here. They might have it nationwide, I don't know. Like I said, California narcissism, called the Burger Battle. They have it once a year, and like 17 different restaurants show up, and they make their best idea of a burger. And you pay, I think, like $70 for a ticket, and for that $70, it's all-you-can-eat burgers, and all-you-can drink beer and cider and wine and donuts and everything, while homeless people sit literally right across the street and watch you through a gate that they can't get through. And so the first year that we went, I ate a lot of burgers and drank even more apple cider than was a good idea. And when I got home, I almost shit myself. And I put that on the Patreon, but it's a year old at this point in time, so I could tell y'all. That nigga almost shit himself. Don't eat roughage and then drink a whole lot of apple cider and expect everything to be all gravity in your guts. It's not going to be all gravity. You're going DDDTL. You're going doo-doo down the leg. It's going to happen. Like, you can't even clench up. Like, and if you're older, as soon as you sneeze, you're going to say it's incontinence, but it's really incontinent shit because it's going right down your leg. Just liquid, just on down. If it's raining, you could just shake it out now like it's just rainwater, but it's not. It's doo-doo. We know. And that's the last time I'm going to say doo-doo on this show, other than that. But this year, we went and... to put it in perspective, one of the burgers was called the Munchies Burger. The Munchies Burger was grass-fed beef. They were all very proud of saying that. It was grass-fed beef with arugula and fried onion strings and a aioli, like some special type of aioli. I think it was habanero or something like that. And then they had a piece of cheese, like a brick of mozzarella, that was rolled and crunched up Doritos and deep fried and put onto this burger, and it was so fucking decadent, and it was wonderful, and it was perfect, and I hope they won the competition. I don't know. What I do know is that my beloved wife and I decided that our kids needed to eat too, and so we brought along 5-gallon size hefty bags, like Ziploc bags, and filled them up with burgers and brought them back home to the kids. So then the kids could taste what we taste, because, nigga, we paid $70 each for these tickets. If you don't think we taking something home with us, you crazy. I'm taking something home every time I go out now, because I'm always going to have that bag inside of my bag. And one person asked me, like, your backpack is huge. Like, do you have food in there? And I was like, mind your own business, Gretchen. And I was like, is your name really Gretchen? But the drinks that they had cider and they had beer and they had all these, like craft beers and local shit. And I don't drink beer and I don't drink wine. I drink tequila. So they didn't have that. So I was at the cider place. But then I saw this thing all the way down at the end. These 2 white people wearing like hemp shoes and fish shirts and hats, like the fisherman hats and all that. And they looked like hippies. And they had a sign that simply said one word on it, which I had never heard of before. And so I was immediately intrigued, because the sign said that it was like craft iced tea. Like it was like lemon and something else iced tea. And I was like, cool. But then I looked at the sign said kombucha. 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 I feel like you can't say that like kombucha. It has to be said like kombucha. And so I went to try out kombucha. And my beloved wife and my mom and her husband didn't want to try it, like some punks. And I asked them to try it with me, and none of them wanted to be adventurous. So I was like, hey, what is this made with? Before I even took a sip, because, you know, who made the potato salad is still a question we all have to ask.
Of course.
And I there's warning signs, people. There's always warning signs. Like, you should know better. But they were like, kombucha is fermented. Wait, what? It's fermented leaves. I'm sorry, I just dry heaved a little bit. It's fermented leaves and something else. Like, I blacked out. And it's supposed to be a new age drink. It's any variety of fermented, lightly effervescent, sweetened, black or green tea drinks. It's fermented tea, using a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. He said all of that. My folks heard all of that, and they immediately backed away. But I was like, I'm standing right next to you. I don't want to get shot. Let me try your kombucha. Don't try kombucha. I'm here today to tell you that it's a trap. Never drink kombucha. I can't tell you what it tasted like. All I can say is that the tea had carbonation in it. And when I mentioned to the guy, oh, this is sparkling. This is sparkling tea. This is interesting. He said, no, that's the fermentation, causing enough bubbles for it to have carbonation in it. And so I left and I poured it out. But
so you didn't taste it?
I tasted it. I took a sip. That's when I was like, oh, it's sparkling. It's carbonated. And he was like, no, it's not carbonated. That's the fermentation of whatever the leaves and stuff were. And so I walked away and was like, this is good. And everybody was laughing at me. And then I poured it out into the trash can and left and went to get some more apple juice. But don't drink kombucha. That was the whole point of that story, was to warn you. If you ever see people, I'm not saying they have to be white. I'm just saying if you see people holding kombucha, don't drink it. They're going to say that it's good for health benefits. They're lying to you. It's going to kill you. You're going to die.
But you're still here, though.
Because I poured it out after that first sip. It was bad. And I guess it's supposed to be like really healthy for you, like, but it's not. It's made with tea, sugar, bacteria, and yeast, which just sounds bad all by itself. God, just looking at it makes me just sick all over again. Kombucha!
Yeah, but it sounds like yogurt. Like, well, Yeah, it sounds like yogurt. Maybe not with the yeast, but the whole, yogurt is supposed to have like probiotics and, help with your digestion and, whatever.
Yeah, it tasted shitty. I really have nothing else in that. It wasn't a good idea for me to drink it, and I was just feeling adventurous because there were all those burgers in there. There was one place that made a burger out of duck meat. That was okay. But there was another place that made a burger and used like refried beans on it and all that kind of stuff and made like a taco out of it. And I was like, you should have just made it a taco, but I still voted for them because they were good. Let me see. Do I have anything else? God, this feels like a really short episode. Shantae, you got anything? What's going on with you?
What's going on with me?
You said that you're giving up. You said that you. Oh.
So, this week was parent-teacher conference.
Already?
Yes. They've been in school since August. They've been in school since August 1st.
Okay.
So this is like halfway through their first 9 weeks or whatever. So it totally makes sense that they're having parent-teacher conference. Anyway, parent-teacher conference. My kids, perfectly fine. No bad things. They're not lying to me. However, at my son's parent-teacher conference, it was like a group kind of parent-teacher conference. So all the core class teachers, it's 4 of them, were in one room, and basically you kind of just went around to each teacher talking to the teachers about your child. So my husband and I are waiting our turn because there were several other parents in front of us, and there was this one mother with her son, and I swear to God, this child straight up lied to his mother about whatever the fuck he was supposed to be doing. And she was like, you could hear it in her voice. She was being sarcastic. She was like, oh, well, no, he's lying. He lying to you. He lying to me. Da-da-da-da. Like this kid, I know this kid got in trouble. And each teacher, because she was way ahead of us. So she was at one teacher, she talking shit. She had another teacher talking shit. She had another teacher talking shit. It was just this kid totally. I know he's been lying to his parents, to his mother or whoever about whatever the fuck he was supposed to be doing. And it all came to a head last night. So good luck to him.
That's that long car ride home where you just feel like, I don't know if I'm going to make it through this, so I better start. I don't know if I want to talk and be the first person to say something and open up the floodgates, or if I want to be silent and let them let all this anger out on me by the time we get home. But either way, I'm in danger. all the memes, about black mom at the parent teacher conference, the faces that she's making, this lady was making all those faces. It was like a meme come to life. Oh, that poor kid.
Bless his heart. Better start telling the truth and doing your work.
That poor kid. So, I do have this one thing. Katt Williams, who just won an Emmy for his role as Alligator in the episode of Atlanta called Alligator Man, went on a show called Frank and Wanda.
Yes, I was gonna bring it up if you did, because I just saw the shit on the timeline.
Yeah, let me go ahead and just plug in on this. Let me find this cable real quick. He joined them and went nuclear on a bunch of comedians, including Kevin Hart, Jared Carmichael, and Hannibal Buress. Mm-hmm. But he seemed to direct his most lethal shots at the girl strip star, saying she's a stand-up hack. Hold on one second.
Station V103, the ATL's number one.
Come on, baby. Don't fail on me now. Keep talking.
Since she was 16, you can't tell me your favorite Tiffany Haddish joke.
Why? Because she ain't done a tour yet.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't done a special. She has not proven the ability to tell jokes back to back for an hour to nobody. And they already ready to down Monique and up somebody who has showed them Girls Trip. Did you think she wrote Girls Trip goofball?
Right.
Or do you think that was already a script and they handed it to her? It's up to you, whatever you want to believe. I'm the introduction to Tiffany Haddish in the movie School Dance. The clip for School Dance has been seen more times than the movie has. That's just a fact.
But the movie the Girls Trip movie?
Yes, ma'am. The one with with 3 of our greatest black actresses in it. You mean that one?
Right. But I'm just saying, Tiffany Haddish.
Ma'am, you could have had that role, and everything that happened would have happened unless you thought you were necessary to write the Saturday Night Live monologue. I'm a writer. I only care about what you write. I don't care about what you read. Everybody can read that can read.
What did you think about the movie, though? I laughed from beginning to end. I felt like...
I thought it was a great script when I saw it in 2004.
Right.
Wow.
In 2004. Wow.
Yeah, I have it.
I'm so happy for her, though, because...
That's what it do.
That
That's
baby...
what it do.
I tear up thinking about the break that she got. And to see her...
Special coming up.
Wait. Did he just completely, talk bad about her forever and then say, I love her? He also
That's what it sounds like. At the same time, though, it's almost like I wonder if he's thinking like he is critiquing her, as far as like a comedian is concerned, as far as whatever his standard of a comedian is concerned, and at the same time, still happy for her success, but really wanting to acknowledge that she is not on the same level as Monique or whoever as far as like stand up is concerned.
He also said that she's only famous because she bangs white guys.
Oh, see, that's See, that's shady. That's bullshit. That's whack. I mean
that part whack, but he didn't lie about none of the shit he said before. I mean, look, hey. I know we all room for Tiffany Haddish and room for everybody black, room for everybody nigga and all that shit, but I mean, y'all, friends. she not that girl. She just not. I'm sorry. She not that girl. Like that shit about what I'm assuming you reading from quotes or something that he said. Now that part about only being famous for banging white dude, that is trash. I won't defend Katt on that, but he ain't tell not one goddamn lie. I mean, come on. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, I know my thing is like if he want to critique her, then fucking critique her. I mean, it's really nothing. There's nothing that it's just like initially what that sounds like is a critique. Now, you smash all that stuff together, like you up here saying that, oh, she's only famous because she's dating white men. I think that takes away from his critique. I think it sounds like some hater shit, so it might and I think that's the whole thing with sometimes people know how to give out a critique, but don't know how to keep their hater shit in check, which it makes their critique
sound absolutely.
Yeah, it sounds fake. It sounds like this isn't really what you want to talk about. Like you want to say this to make it look good, but then here come your hater shit behind it. And it's just like, oh, that's probably how you really feel. Like you really just feel like she's completely unworthy. Like completely. And not only is she unworthy, but she's she fucking white dudes. And that's it. Like almost like she's not funny at all. That's what it sounds like. That's what that sounds like. If you're saying that because she's sleeping with white men, that's why she got put on, and it's almost like nobody is responding positively to her. That's what that sounds like to me. And it's just like, no, I think people, regardless of whether or not you think she's funny, I think people fuck with her. They fuck with her brand of humor, regardless of whether or not she wrote it or someone else wrote it and she's just delivering it. People fuck with her. They fuck with her personality. So it's just like, I don't know, part of me is kind of just like, why not just let that shit cook? You know, as far as that's concerned, as far as like, you know, her fame and all that different kind of stuff. You want to talk about her as far as your standard as a comedian against another comedian, sure. You know, what did he say about Kevin Hart? And because what it sounds like when you were reading it, it sounded like he had a lot of smoke for Tiffany and maybe said some whatever for Kevin Hart and Hannibal Buress and Gerard Carmichael.
It's a 20-minute video.
Okay.
So I'd have to piece through it to find the parts where he said something about Kevin and Gerard and all of them. But yeah, hold on one second. I could piece through it. Y'all just talking about
stuff I thought he was gonna play. I mean, no disrespect to Rashanii, but that ain't the part that I thought he was gonna play, because I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I thought he was gonna play when he roasted the fuck out of Wanda when Wanda tried him. Cause that's what I was in here looking at and laughing at while I had myself on mute. Cause she tried it. She tried it and he flamed the fuck out of her.
Oh, this? Hold on, I may have found that part real quick. Yeah, who is she?
She, man, look, first of all,
is she's just radio? I mean, not saying like she's just radio, but like I know that there's a lot of
basically here in Metro, in the Metro. Okay. Yeah, she's basically a radio person. Okay. And because it's Frank and Wanda in the morning and shit, and it's basic. I mean, listen, again, friends, I'm here. We have to be honest about black radio, in that a lot of that shit is trash as fuck.
Yeah.
A lot of that shit is trash as fuck.
Very.
So, yeah, just whatever Frank and Wanda in the morning is basically your run-of-the-mill black radio show where they attempt to be funny, but they're not really comedians, and they say a lot of hack Facebook meme joke shit that is riddled in a lot of misogyny, homophobia, which if Rashanii gonna play the clip, you'll see that jump out of Wanda when she try Katt. And, you know, it's basically all the Facebook meme problematic shit, just like any other black radio show. So, yeah. But continue, Rashanii.
The thing I'm publicly proud of is that there aren't any pictures of my children available on the internet in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
All right.
So, to be able to protect a squad of black children's privacy for 19 years has been a blessing.
That's dope.
You cook? Do you cook for your kids?
Absolutely.
Tell me some of the things you cook that they are proud of. Like, Dad made some. You got the best spaghetti. You got the best steak. What do you have? Tell us what you cook.
As a father of 7 with an unlimited food budget, you can make whatever is necessary.
I
with
said
7,
what they like.
Excuse me.
I said what do they like?
Just because you're a poor interviewer doesn't mean.
I said you answer the question and just tell me.
Man, you're
what
a
they
strong
like.
black woman. Is it okay for me to answer?
Come on.
You keep interrupting the answer. Everyone can hear it. It sounds like you like me a little bit. It's starting to bleed over the airwaves.
It is.
Oh, really?
I want to let everybody know that Wanda got some lipstick on right now with enough glitter for the 4th of July 2020.
That's right. Kissable lips.
So, okay, so what do you cook, Katt?
All right, so the thing is, with 7, you become a good cook just because you got too many different opinions. Like 4 of these is daughters, so I got a daughter that only eats vegetables, and then I got a daughter that only eat meat, and I got a daughter that doesn't do dairy.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're cooking. You're cooking for whoever is 4 out of 5, right?
Yeah.
And then you're making the adjustments from there. So you might make lasagna, but you understand that only 4 or 5 people out of 8 are going lasagna. So then you have to do a vegetarian lasagna just so that you can cut the difference. And then because these are Negro children, you make chicken wings and make 1 dozen of those. So you got a regular lasagna, a vegetarian lasagna, and 12 wings. And then you fill it out with salad and bread, and then adult here gets that glass of Port Reserve from
There you go.
Chateau Alon.
Chateau Alon,
and the
baby.
young children get that sweet tea from Publix, and there's a meal with a budget of about $64 that'll feed 7 people.
All right.
I love it.
The hood education from Katt Williams.
Okay.
All right. Red Grant.
How many kids you got, Wanda?
I have 3 boys.
Excellent.
Yes, I do.
Aren't boys simple?
Mhm.
Aren't boys simple?
They can be. They can be.
Wanda knows she
I'm what?
She didn't do as much cooking in the latter years as she did in the beginning.
Whatever. I cook. I do it all.
I didn't say that you
Well,
didn't.
that's all right. I did it in the beginning and the middle and the end.
What's your favorite thing to cook? Your boys say, yeah.
They like for me to. I do a really nice broccoli. They like my broccoli and they love my baked chicken.
Hey,
And they
right now,
love-
look up your phone and see what it takes to make broccoli, and tell me does it say heat up water? Is that the only step in broccoli? Heat up water?
Whatever.
Have you ever heard of burned broccoli? Can you
whatever,
burn
hater.
broccoli? You
Whatever,
can't burn
hater.
it because it's made in a pot of water.
You don't know nothing about.
You know what her second meal they love from her? What I do with corn.
Whatever.
I like to get it out that can and I put it in there, and then I get a can of water and I put it on there, and then I get some Zatarain's. They don't expect that. I sprinkle Zatarain's on
I'm
my
a great
corn.
cook. Whatever.
Yes, ma'am. You good at heating stuff up.
You're good at telling us about what's going on in jail.
Yes, ma'am, and getting out to tell you. But I'm going to tell you at an arena named Phillips, and you going to tell me at the Atlanta Comedy Theater.
That's right. True.
Tomorrow, be there.
All right.
Red Grant show. I know
Red
I'll
Grant.
be there. Don't miss it.
Red Grant, Katt Williams, thank y'all for coming through, man.
Yes.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in.
I see why people come to Wanda's show.
Yeah.
Because Frank Ski puts it down.
That's right. Get on out of here with your crazy ass.
Is he crazy?
And hurry up and get to the salon. All right, it's the People Station Viewer 3. Your hair is kind of...
That joint was.
My hair is 19 inches long and I have no perm.
You don't?
Oops.
Oh, that's not a perm.
No, it is not. Nice lady.
That's natural.
Come run one of your gnarled
Well,
fingers.
come here. Come here.
While you on air.
Well, come
So
on.
they can hear you live.
Come on. Let me come over here.
No. That's not how that works.
Oh, okay. Well, then stay over there.
Don't worry. Ain't nobody putting their hands through yours.
That's right. They don't have to. I don't want them to. Get on out of here. You okay? You
Only one of our hairs moving while we talk.
Are you all right? Are you okay?
Red
this morning?
Grant, Atlanta Comedy.
Tell Wanda to
And make
take
sure-
off them
and make-
headphones and that
make
wig.
sure- and make sure
That wig and that headphones
and
come
take off
together.
them old ass clothes you got on. How about that? Yeah, they're old.
Versace, yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It
She
says
said,
Versace.
I want to apologize to the people at Versace Collection. This is your 2019 summer line that hasn't come out.
But you had to open it up and show us it was Versace. I wanted to.
No, I didn't
walk
have to
past
open
but
it
you
up.
did,
These
though.
people are on radio. They can't see anything.
Yeah, but you opened it up so we could see it.
Yes,
we see
ma'am.
it. Well, happy
And happy
for
whatever
you.
store is for the Black Lane Bryant.
That's right. That's right. Very proud.
Okay, let's
Very
play some
proud.
music real quick if we can. We going to a break real quick?
Very
All right, cool.
proud.
We go to a break.
Shout outs to Forever 21
Yeah.
Necklace Collection.
That's right. Shout out.
They don't
to
remember
you.
me from wilding out, right? I'm not the right one to Jones on.
Get this inmate out of here.
If you can't get your blood pressure down, you can't call me down.
Whatever, little mama.
If your cholesterol is 600,
Whatever, little mama.
I'm Lil Mama's baby daddy.
No, you little mama.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, girl.
And what are you, girl? You probably shouldn't talk about sizes.
No, that's okay.
You big on the radio.
That's right. And you're big
Turn
in
it
prison.
down.
And you're
yes,
big
ma'am.
in prison.
I've never been to prison.
You have
19
several
felonies,
times.
no convictions.
Yeah,
Knock it
yeah.
off. Prison
Okay.
and jail aren't the same. No.
Okay,
No.
Calm
No.
down. Calm down.
Only one of us has
Calm
$12 worth
down.
of jewelry on.
Oh,
No.
No, $12.
No. That all is
$12,
available.
boo,
If you want to have Wanda's jewelry, please go to Citgo or Quick Trip at any point. If you buy 2 packs of Newport 100s, they will give you everything Wanda has on right now for $7.99, and it comes with a free car wash. Won't you come on down?
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. Go
The
Shay,
show
please
starts
come
at
get
9.
her.
Wanda gets to the stage at 9:17. Please come on down.
Go Shay, please come get Miss Cat and do her hair.
She's almost out of breath. Be careful now. Even on the radio, you can hear the fact that exercise has crept into her vocabulary.
Hurry up, little mama. We're done.
You already used that one. Don't repeat your jokes fresh comment.
again.
All right, go ahead. We'll go to
Get
break.
your ass out of here.
Situation.
Lord help me, please. Did y'all miss like that whole thing?
Well, this is the first time I've heard it. I didn't listen to it. I didn't see people talking about it on the timeline. I did not listen. I didn't listen to it.
That shit was uncalled for. I just listened to it because it was there, and yeah. So, at what point do you tap out when you're trying to clown somebody who's trying to mind their own business? Like, is it when they clap back, do you then like get to just say, you know what, fuck this, I don't want to be a part of this?
She should have tapped out soon as he said gnarly fingers.
Right.
Like she should have waved the white flag then. Like,
right. There's a certain point where you're just like, this is not my battle. I thought I wanted this, and I didn't. Let's squash this, and let's move on. Cause
like you know, she was flustered. She did that thing where a lot of, well, I don't want to say a lot, but certain women, especially like lately on social media, like when they either provoked or unprovoked, they'll start to like it in a way, like try to emasculate a man, like calling him sis, or like she was calling him like
little
Miss
mama.
Cat or
misgendering him. Right. Because Katt was getting on her ass. She had, listen. First of all, who said this on Twitter? I think it was Sarong. Like, what on earth would possess you to try to do a roasting session with Katt Williams of all people? And the nigga ain't even on drugs and then he's sober. Like, why would you try it with sober Katt Williams? Why?
I don't know.
Why?
But I didn't think I'd feel this way again today, because I kind of felt this way after listening to Eminem's response to Machine Gun Kelly. So it's just been a lot of people stepping in stuff, and then the other person comes back, and the person who started it wasn't really prepared for the fallout.
And listen, and first of all, I would just like to say, for anybody that's listening to that for the first time, don't feel bad for no fucking Wanda, because Wanda had, listen, as somebody who lives here in the metro, and I obviously I can't speak for everybody, but I can pretty damn sure a lot of people that live here in Metro Atlanta will agree with me. Wanda got a habit of doing that shit. Wanda got a habit of doing that shit with guests or just in general talking hella shit. But can't nobody, either the person don't clap back but don't clap back because they want to be professional, or they don't clap back because they don't have the range to kind of like go to that level with her. I mean, not that she really got the bones like that herself, but you know what I mean? Like, if that's not your MO of talking shit, like, you don't, like, some of the guests or something won't really go there with her, but she had the right one today. So don't feel bad for Wanda, because she got a history of doing that shit. She got her issue that time.
I felt great, especially the part where he was like, because it was like traps that she set for herself. He was like, what's your favorite thing to cook for your kids? And she was like, broccoli, and that's all he needed. And she tried to talk over him to say chicken, but broccoli had already been spoken, and he was like, you act like making broccoli is difficult. Has anybody ever burnt broccoli before? It's like, on the one hand, I'm like, yo, don't do that. It's not nice. But she kept trying to get her digs in, and like you said, she kept calling him Miss and Little Mama and all that kind of stuff, and her jokes weren't funny. They were just butane.
Yeah. Like, she opened it about talking about his hair and stuff and all that. So it was like, oh, you opened the floodgates. Okay, cool.
Okay, but see, at the same time, though, it's like her jokes weren't funny, but then at the same time, he was being, like, he was talking about her size and stuff because she was fat, and that don't necessarily mean that shit is funny either. That's why, for me, it was just like, this is just kind of like, this is fucked up. Y'all just going back and forth saying all kind of fucked up shit to each other. The shit ain't really all that funny.
The part about the broccoli
was... I would be problematic. It was all funny to me. Fuck it. Because like I said, Wanda got a history of doing that shit.
But it's
so I don't really feel
about
bad.
Her history.
So I don't really feel bad.
Well, see, I don't necessarily feel bad. I don't feel bad either.
Anything.
What it is the possibility that you have people listening to the show and hear somebody making fat jokes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hear somebody misgendering somebody. That's true. Really what it is. It's like, here's your audience listening to this and you're perpetuating these ideas, on, both of them. Now obviously you got more, Jeremy, you have more experience with her because this is, locally to where you are. But just upon hearing this, it's just ugly.
Very true.
Now, was she, did she jump in some shit she probably shouldn't have jumped into? As far as just jokes and going at each other and everything and like the dozens or whatever. Yes, it's very clear that she probably should have just stayed in her lane and left it alone. And once she realized it was over her head, she went to an ugly place with it. But then he went right to an ugly place with it too. Katt went right to an ugly place with it too. Because I feel like that's what happens. It's like when niggas get on Twitter and they want, a woman says something to them and she happens to be fat. The first thing the nigga want to say to the woman is talk about how fat she is.
Mm-hmm.
So, as far as their jokes, but I can dig it as far as the possibility of some of, like, the broccoli shit. She did kind of, it was kind of fucked up. As far as broccoli, it's just like, yeah, you should have, like, actually said, like, maybe if you, like, do some kind of, like, special cheese on top of it or something. Because just, regular fucking broccoli, just, it's not that complicated. But, whatever.
I get it. I don't disagree, but I'm petty trash, so, And I own this. Because Shantae, I'm quick to say a nigga look like a foot, so.
This is true. This is true.
All right, Jeremy, go ahead and do your shout-outs.
Shout out to you niggas, my friends. Rashanii called me at the right minute because I was about to damn fall asleep because I had been drinking earlier. The nigga hit me like, is y'all recording? I'm like, oh, niggas recording? Oh, let me wake my ass up then. But, yeah. Shout out to y'all, for over here at Single Simulcast. Shout out to you, Rashanii, for starting The Unburdened. I think it's dope. I think it's that is needed, and I hope to be a part of it soon. We gotta work the scheduling out and shit, but we'll get it together.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to everyone that is shout out to everyone that is supporting what we got going over at CSPN. We got any crossover listeners for Crown and Collars and Ratchet Ramblings. Speaking of petty trash, you wanna hear us be petty trash, come over to Ratchet Ramblings, because good luck, everybody. Yeah. And once again, leave us alone on Twitter with these goddamn screenshot text messages. Leave us the fuck alone. We don't care. Block him, sis. Shit. Block him. And that's it.
Shante?
Whoa,
wait.
One more thing. Fuck Nicki Minaj and anybody that love her. Okay, continue.
Wow. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but I really don't. I don't disagree. But yeah, just shout out to the people that continue to support the show in any way that they should support the show, whether it's telling a friend or sharing it on social media or, listening to the show, downloading the show. You are appreciated, and thank you for continuing to rock with us.
what they said. And remember, everybody makes mistakes. Not everybody gets the opportunity to learn from them. To have the opportunity to learn from your mistakes and grow is an absolute blessing. So take advantage of those opportunities and try and teach others what you've learned. Single Simulcast, episode 317. Y'all be good. We're out. Peace.
This is Single Simulcast.
Don't know by now that you slip.